Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. While preachings and protests are often remembered as the pinnacle of the civil rights movement, the impact of music is much less regarded, despite it having such a monumental effect on civil progression as well. One of the most influential and impactful musicians for civil rights was Ray the Genius Charles. Becoming completely blind at the age of 7 due to glaucoma, Charles began to learn to play the piano using Braille as a way to express himself and the world around him. At the beginning of his music career, he suffered little success due to the discriminatory racial divide that was present in the music industry during the Jim Crow era. Experiencing racism and segregation throughout his life, Charles wanted the world to see society the way he saw it, without color, both metaphorically and quite literally. In light of this, he began to create music that illustrated his hope for a desegregated society of racial harmony. Considering that many African American artists who had attempted this prior were usually barred from the music industry entirely, it was a very risky and bold move. Knowing this, Charles created music that employed characteristics of gospel, jazz, and blues to appeal to everybody. Unknowingly, this led to Charles pioneering a whole new genre of music that would dominate the subsequent 60s and 70s, rhythm and blues, or R&B music. By avoiding direct references to the civil rights movement, but still incorporating symbolisms and allusions to freedom for African Americans, Charles garnered millions of listeners, both black and white, and would frequently play at desegregated venues at concerts. His intent was for his music to prove to those against civil rights for African Americans that despite his disability and the fierce discrimination he faced, he could succeed, and succeed he did, selling millions of records, topping the chart numerous times, and being comparable to that of even the superstar Elvis Presley. Although his music did not directly state the issues of civil rights, Charles was in no way silent about his support. He would frequently participate in protests, was a huge financial backer for Martin Luther King, and even once refused outright to play at a segregated venue in Georgia. Charles believed that his approach to music was complementary to that of Dr. King because, by emphasizing the ideas of peace and unity, he could convince others to unite against the Jim Crow laws that oppressed African Americans for nearly a century. And he was right. His music was often a way for those supporting the civil rights movement to further progress their cause, even playing his music at protests and rallies. Songs such as What I Say and Georgia on My Mind
Georgia, Georgia
became the unofficial anthems for the civil rights movement, with Georgia on My Mind even becoming the state song for Georgia in 1979. Overall, Ray Charles utilized his music platform to further the ideas of peace, harmony, and unity that define the civil rights movement. Despite his disability, he was able to create an impactful and resonating form of music that influenced an entire generation to fight against the rampant prejudice and racism throughout the 50s and 60s. Charles inspired the creation and celebration of soul music as a way to celebrate culture and unity, as well as the idea that social change can be instilled through peaceful demonstrations of music and determination.